The small South County town of Lake Forest stepped up to the big leagues last November with the introduction of the city's first six-figure election campaign and the tons of attack mail that came with it. Developers set the stage for the slugfest, pumping nearly $50,000 into the Orange County GOP, which then turned around and spent a similar amount on attack mail for two developer-friendly candidates, Dwight Robinson and Adam Nick. Not a welcome development for some residents, like Terry Anderson, a longtime Republican and planning commissioner, who saw his own party attack him with mailers calling him too liberal when he ran for city council. Two developers are proposing to have a whole series of 75 single-family homes and 150 condos basically neighboring these types of auto dealerships. It's a completely radical change from the commercial zoning that had been done here years ago when the Marine El Toro Air Base was here, and this was part of the flight path. Last year, the developers handed the city a market study, concluding it was a good idea to transform a vacant auto mall into a housing tract.
If you spoke with professional planners and architects and marketing experts, this is exactly what a lot of people want as far as housing. They actually want to work and live in the same city.
The city's planning staff have officially urged city council members to stick with the city requirement that calls for an independent review of the developer's market study.
I think it's terrible planning.
Why?
It looks like spot development to me.
Spot zoning?
Spot zoning. But I think it requires a great deal more thought and planning than what they have proposed.
Last fall, city staff said the developers kept delaying meetings to talk about the independent review requirement. At the same time, they gave nearly $50,000 to the local GOP, which then turned around and spent a similar amount on attack mail for Dwight Robinson and Adam Nick. Last November, Robinson and Nick won election. They provided pivotal votes to exempt the developers from city standards.
With respect to the market study, at this point, I don't see any benefit to it.
I don't think any further studying is necessary. I think it will be a waste of money. I think it will prolong the process needlessly.
We got study after study after study. We get overstudied this.
That's prompted some tough questions from their fellow city council members.
And the facts of the matter are, is that in the Foothill Ranch area, we have already approved through the OSA over 4,000 units. We've already met that goal. We've already put in place residential development that is very dramatic.
His substitute motion is to end the peer review. Carte blanche.
And have them update theirs.
It's also left other Republicans like Terry Anderson and City Councilman Peter Herzog connecting a series of dots that reveal an uncomfortable pattern.
It seemed that the Republican Party connections were not driven by party affiliation, but rather it appeared as though they were driven by financial support that was given their way. I was afraid that our whole election process was going to turn into a big political game.
So how does it feel to get hit with that argument from your own party?
Cheap shot.
And how does it feel to see that financed by developer contributions?
You just feel angry. You feel betrayed in the whole process.
What does it say about your political party process?
It feels like you've been betrayed by your family.
I'm not involved in city politics.
But the money that you gave to the GOP that came back to both candidate Robinson and Nick, you're saying you had no idea about that?
No.
Were you unhappy that the GOP spent money on them to get them elected?
I don't have an answer to that. You're asking me questions I don't have an answer to.
The Republican Party supported me. I don't really know where their money came from, but
sure.
But I was thankful for it. But on top of it, I mean, I ran a strong campaign.
It should not happen here. Elections in Lake Forest should not be bought. This city should not be for sale, and that is truly, truly offensive.